Ready?
Steady.
Go. Here at Lloyds Banking Group, there's no such thing as just an apprentice. I'm in a position to say whether our products are fair, ethical, and designed to help Britain prosper.
That moment when you realise you're in a team managing over £150 billion in funds.
It isn't all finance all the time. I led a partnership with Macmillan to help our customers access better cancer care.
Everyone knows you can trust Lloyds. I've seen our bold sustainability commitments, and every day I see us following through.
1 minute I'm leaving uni with my sports science degree. The next I'm in a room thinking of ideas to help millions of families during the pandemic.
I work in financial crime, international sanctions. As you can imagine, it's a pretty interesting place to be right now.
1 minute you're reading about the cost of living crisis, and the next you're writing a briefing paper on it.
Off the back of my dissertation on DevOps pipelines, I went into an engineering role, and now I'm rolling it out company-wide.
We all got million subscription nowadays, so my team built a tool that helps 18 million customers manage them in our app.
When it's not developing with React or Redux, it's gaming with the other grads, or the odd night out.
I couldn't be prouder of my outreach work through Lloyds, helping school-age girls and non-binary people get into coding.
My next step, go for an associate director role, either in my team or something new and exciting. How's that for a rotation?
Hi everyone, and welcome to the March edition of Lloyds Careers Live. I'm Phil, an apprentice here at Lloyds Banking Group. Did you join us for National Apprenticeship Week in February? Then you'll probably recognise me from February's Career Live. This time, I'm not joined by my colleague Holly, but by another colleague and fellow apprentice, Robbie.
Hi everyone. Well, back in February, I was being interviewed on Lloyds Careers Live, and now they've given me the hotspot of being anchor presenter alongside Phil. Fantastic to be here. I'm also an apprentice here at Lloyds and very pleased to be presenting this month's Careers Live, which is all about careers in technology engineering.
Technology is all around us. I'm sure that most of you tonight have known about things like streaming, mobile internet, since the moment you could walk and talk. I wonder how much of that we take for granted. When we grab our phone, we go to an app. Do we stop and consider what has actually gone into getting it there, designing it, making sure it works, implementing it, keeping it up to date? These are all done by people who've chosen a career in technology, and we are so very grateful to them for making our lives easier, bringing fun to us, and helping us to connect.
Indeed, we all know jobs in technology are increasing, and that technology is already playing an increasing role in our everyday roles. It's not just being a software engineer. Even if you want to be a doctor, nurse, teacher, architect, even a video podcast producer, almost every role involves technology to some extent. As we get closer to the point of leaving school, it's easy to feel that there are some career pathways are no longer available to us, simply due to the choice we may have made at school and the subjects we've studied. Tonight's Careers Live is all about careers in technology, and we're here to show you different ways you can have a rewarding career in technology.
Right then, Gareth, let's open up our first poll. On a simple scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the highest, how confident do you feel about understanding roles in technology and engineering? All right, it's jumping about a bit at the minute. We've got 50% for 2, not that confident, it's looking like.
Yeah, it's a very, very spread across here, Phil.
So we still got some more responses coming in, 17, 18 now.
Looks like a lot of people aren't very confident. Hopefully that'll change by the end of this session.
Yeah, fingers crossed. That's why we hold these sessions. Yes, we might as well go on to the next bit.
Yeah, well, great stuff. So at Lloyds Banking Group, we have over 30 million customers and operate the UK's largest mobile bank. Here's another question for you. To what extent could you see yourself working at Lloyds Banking Group? If you feel then it's extremely unlikely, then give it a 1. And if you feel absolutely certain, then give it a 5. And if you're somewhere in between, then go for a 3.
I'm liking the enthusiasm from our audience here. It's looking like a lot of people can see themselves working at Lloyds. And I don't blame them. I mean, it's a great place to work. Wouldn't you say so, Robbie?
Yes, I can personally agree with that.
Yeah. So I mean, of course, this isn't a very scientific poll because you've already decided to join us for a live stream on careers in tech and engineering. But looking at the research by the local government association, roles in tech engineering have grown dramatically all the way through the pandemic. Hopefully our slides will help you understand how those jobs are distributed across the country. Here's a clue. The darker blue areas show the highest concentration per head of population. So this is what we can see for 2020. Now, if we zip forward to 2030, you can see a difference. By 2030, it's estimated that there'll be a need for 1.7 million tech specialist jobs in the UK. Talk about levels. That's a 25% increase over 2020. There'll be many more industry sectors, not just software companies as well. And they'll also be more widely distributed. In short, more jobs in more parts of the country. This is especially true of the more rural areas, places where there aren't large concentrations of people.
And with all that extra demand comes an extra demand of skills as well. When we look closely at subject choice at school, we can see the numbers of those choosing to study GCSE computing is growing at a slower number than the jobs growing in the computing sector. In 2022, 81,000 of you sat computing GCSE as a subject. Now that may sound like a lot, but what we've found here at Lloyds is that there's even more people choosing a career in technology who didn't study computing science at school. In fact, 85% of our current tech apprentices didn't study computing science at all, and yet somehow found themselves in a career they really enjoy.
Yeah, so that's a good point you make there. I mean, the gap is huge. When you drill down looking at the makeup of those in tech, it is historically, and it still is in some cases, a space dominated by the boys. But things like flexible and hybrid working, where you come into the office for a few days and work home for a few days, have really helped support more women in technology. Every year, an organization called Sibyl polls students to get an understanding of how they feel about a career in technology. And what does the research show, Robbie?
Well, Phil, I'm glad you asked, because the research shows that many of us feel quite optimistic about careers in tech. But as we get close to choosing our GCSE, our national subjects, and beyond, our belief that a career in technology could be ours seems to wane.
And yet, we know that many apprentices have thrived and built rewarding careers in technology all the same. Tonight, we're going to be exploring careers in technology engineering. We'll also look at how apprenticeships can help getting you into the sector, even if you've not studied computing at school.
And to do that, Phil, we have 4 of our awesome apprentices that we can chat with this evening. Standing by are Charlie, Sad, Maury, and Alex. We'll take a look at the apprenticeship schemes offered by Lloyds Banking Group, the different roles, and what they involve. Our colleagues at Capfinity have also joined us, and they have designed a little game for us to play that replicates some of the tests employers use to help assess your aptitude for technology-type roles. And our technology teams have also devised a Kahoot quiz to test your existing knowledge, so keep your phone handy for that one.
Don't forget, you can use the chat function. Ask any questions you like, and our lovely colleagues, Ian and Catherine, who are monitoring both on Zoom and YouTube, they'll get back to you. Accessibility is really important to us here at the Banking Group. We benefit from closed captioning support. That's available both in Zoom and YouTube as well. We have a lot to cover, but don't worry if you miss anything. This entire live stream will be available from about 6 p.m. on our Lloyds Early Careers YouTube channel.
That's a great point, Phil. Normally on Careers Live, we start off with the experts, but since the theme of tonight's live broadcast is to help you understand how to get into tech, even if you don't have a tech background, we're mixing things up. I'm going to start with one of our apprentices. So welcome to Careers Live, Charlie and Maury.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So Maury, why don't we start with you? Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Maury, and I work with Lloyds as a software quality engineer. And I came from a non-technical background, and I'm enjoying my role as a quality engineer now.
Fantastic, Maury. So what schemes did you join with Lloyds, and how did you get onto it?
I started with the level 4 software quality engineering apprenticeship with Firebrand, which was accessed via Lloyds Banking Group with the support of my line manager. and already completed, and I'm on my level 6 apprenticeship now, which is a BSc degree in applied digital technology.
That's great, Maury. So you mentioned as well at the start you weren't particularly focused on tech. So what got you interested in tech in the first place then? How did you find that interest?
Um, you're right. I wasn't focused on tech, but the interest on tech was there since I was a kid. Probably around 12 years old. I was always fond of video games, computers. It's kind of very enjoying to see professionals in that area in tech, the way they do things, the way they solve problems using computers. I always wanted to be that person that would be solving problems using computers. That's where the interest started, and it's always been.
Great, Maury. And you saw the poll earlier on statistics that school has a big impact on, people's career choice, particularly in tech. How much impact do you think school has on your choice to come into tech career as an apprentice?
Can you just say that again? My line was. Can you
No
say
problem.
that again?
How much influence do you think school had on you choosing to do a tech apprenticeship with Lloyds?
When I decided to join the apprenticeship with Lloyds, like I mentioned, I had zero technical background. I didn't even know if it was the right thing for me. I was not sure. I wanted to do it. I wanted to be a software engineer, but the skills were not there, and that was where the apprenticeship came in to give me all these technical skills that I needed. The support was given to me by my land manager for 18 months in my apprenticeship, and I'm still having the support. So I would say I'm in a better place now as a quality engineer compared to before when I joined. Now I can handle projects alone. 2 years ago, 1 year ago, I couldn't. So I think I'm in a better place now.
That's fantastic, Maury. Thank you very much. And I think it's a really good point here to hear that apprentices, you build a lot of skills for the apprenticeship, which is one of the massive benefits of it. Now, Charlie, moving on to you now. So I understand that you manage tech apprentices. How are you seeing apprentices thrive who haven't chose computing?
So all of my apprentices who are thriving all have the same attitude. They are absolutely excited by the world of potential that tech offers, and they're really keen to have a go. They enjoy problem solving, and they enjoy working with other people to solve problems. That active action of kind of learning every day and solving a new problem every day really excites them. They get lots and lots of joy from it. So they're doing really well at the moment. It's fantastic.
That's great to hear. It sounds like the fact they haven't done tech before is not disadvantaging them at all in the workplace. So what kind of support do they have in the workplace, Charlie?
So as Maury said, there's obviously the kind of training partners, and before anyone starts, they go on quite a big boot camp where they get a big download. It's quite intense. You get loads and loads of learning, and then you come out and you meet your line managers, and we start the whole program with you. We are there every step of the way. We give you mentors. We move you into different teams so you can learn new things. We try and open as many doors as we can for you so that you can work out what area you really, really want to be in and what you really enjoy and what you're really good at. So we try and do a bit of everything, really.
And fantastic, Charlie. How would you say, did you study tech at school? Any computing subjects?
No. And I was absolutely adamant I wasn't going to do anything with technology at all when I was at school. I was going to be an air stewardess, definitely, and I was going to travel the world. The good thing about Lloyds is you get a good holiday allowance, so you could still travel the world.
Certainly. And we also find as well that, you don't have to have a tech background to go into a tech role. I mean, we also see that you can switch schemes, so you can maybe do a tech scheme and then do another scheme as well, which is great. There's some brilliant answers there. So thank you very much, Charlie and Maury. It's been great to hear from you, and hopefully it's praised.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So there's some brilliant answers there. Now, one of the things we hear all the time is if you're applied for a technology apprenticeship, your chances are much higher if you've already been studying technology, which we can see based off Charlie's answer. A lot of their apprentices don't have a tech background. But as we also saw, employers are needing to think about how much more widely the skills they're looking for they can find the people they want. Apprenticeships are designed to help you earn and learn at the same time. You're not able to take on an apprenticeship, but you're already covered a significant learning need. Whether or not you've already chosen computing at GCSE, A-levels, nationals or hires for those down in Scotland. These apprenticeships remain open to you.
So the big question you've probably got in mind is, how does an employer assess whether you've got the right kind of skills for a career in tech if you've not studied tech before? And thankfully, we do have the answer for that. Because employers really do want to bring diversity of thought into roles, they've devised different ways of understanding your aptitude for technology roles rather than just relying on exam results. Every employer has their own way of doing this. And we reached out to our friends at Capfinity to find some examples of how this can be done. Just so you know, what we're going to show you now is representative of some of the ways employers do this, but of course, your experience will not be exactly the same as these examples.
Now, I'm a bit nervous now, which is why we're holding on to Charlie and Maury to help us out. We have 5 types of tests to show you we can play along with at home. You'll see the question, and then we want you to write down what you think the answer is in chat. So, Phil, let's take a look at the first one. So you'll see here, the first question's on screen. This one asks you to work out the password, so it's a test of logical thinking. Your task is to decipher the code. You have to find the correct password from 7 words that are described below. Only one answer is correct. You can see someone has already tried feet, and 2 letters were correct. They've also tried nest, and 2 letters were correct. Now let's see what you come up with.
Yeah, so you've got we'll give you about a minute, 90 seconds to see what you can do with this one. And I'd throw some ideas in the chat, guys, if you're working on this online. So what do you think about this one then, Robbie? How challenging is it?
I think it's a good difficulty, to be honest, Phil. I think it's a question that challenges your logical skills, which is something that's very important here at Lloyds in some of our roles. But also, it's not so easy that you'll be able to get it instantly. When I first had a look at this, must admit, I did struggle to find the answer at first.
But I mean, that's one of the good things about an apprentice, though. You don't give up after the first try. You just keep going until you get there, and that's what we're hoping that you guys in the chat will be doing as well.
Yeah,
we're just keeping our eyes out to see if anyone throws up the right answer.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see those answers in chat.
Oh, so I do see a couple of answers in the chat then. So time is up. Let's have a look at the answers then. So as some of you correctly guessed, that would be Laura and Isioma. The answer to this one is fast. This is because the word feet shares 2 letters with fast, and the word nest also shares 2 letters with fast. None of the other words share exactly 2 letters, so we can work it out that it's fast.
That was a great question.
Well done, guys.
Yeah, that was a great question. Well done to those in chat that managed to work that out. Certainly faster than I was at doing it. So our next example is all about language. So although there are different programming language and more are being invented all the time, all of them rely on an ability to observe, understand, and deal with rule sets. And if you're trying to debug code, it's likely this is because something's been written that doesn't comply with that language's rules. So up on screen now is an example of a language test.
So on the right side, you can see that the language uses a number of characters and it has 4 rules. It can include up to 8 characters in total, including punctuation. It can include up to 1 operator. It can include up to 2 special characters. And it must end with punctuation. So given these rules, which of the series is incorrect? Again, you guys have got a minute to 90 seconds to see if you can figure it out. Please do throw your suggestions in the chat.
And since you asked me, Phil, last time, what do you think about this question? What's your initial thoughts looking at this?
My initial thoughts looking at this are that I should use a schema like this for setting up my passwords, although I'll be a bit worried that I won't remember them.
Yeah, it's certainly you'd have a very complex password if you followed these these rule sets. See, we got some answers here in the chat. Keep an eye out for the right one.
Yeah, so we've got an answer from Laura already, so she's quick on it again. And we've got something from Chris as well. Give you guys another 20 seconds to think about your answers, and then we'll run through it.
I think Chris also thinks it's answer B, so we've got a majority here. So is Elijah. Elijah's also going with PE.
Oh, and Lee as well, the Lloyds guy. Well, let's call it time now and go through these.
Perfect. Well, as Phil said, let's take a look at the answer for this one. So, as a few of you pointed out, it is the second series that's failed the rule set. One of the rules says you can only have maximum of one operator. We can see a second series is both a minus and a dividing operator, so it has failed that rule set. As you can see, you don't need to know any specific language in order to complete these assessments.
Right then, now you know what to do. Now you know how straightforward it is, or challenging, depending on how you look at it. We've got one last one to go. This one is sentence rules again. Sentence rules. In this test, there are 5 sentences. You have to find the sentence that complies with all the rules on the right-hand side. There is only one answer. See how you get on. If you need some help, the logical way to do this is to use a table and check how each sentence complies with the various rules. Again, you'll have 1 minute to 90 seconds to work your way through this.
Yeah, I'm noticing, Phil, there's a common theme here of rule sets. Quite interesting. So, Phil, you're on the data. Are you not on a technical type apprenticeship scheme?
I'm a data analyst apprentice.
How was your tests compared to when you applied for your apprenticeship? Did you have to go through any of these?
Let's see. It was it feels like a while ago now, but the kinds of assessment that I did were more about playing with data and reading charts, pulling insight from charts. But I do like these kind of puzzles though. This is definitely something I do on a train ride, on a long train ride to Scotland. So what are our chats saying? We've got some A's, we've got a B, got a C, got a D, got a good mix here.
Very varied. It'll be interesting to see which one is correct. I love these types of questions. They make you think. And when you get them right, if you do get them right, you feel good.
It's true. So let's call it time there.
Perfect. So let's take a look at our expert answer then. So we worked through this one logically. Sentence 1 talks about blue shoes, but as you can see, the rule set tells us that all colours mentioned in a sentence have to end with a constant. Because blue doesn't do that, it doesn't comply with the rules. On the sentence 2, there are 3 cats and 10 dogs. Now, that seems like a very busy household. But for our rules, we know that all numbers mentioned have to be between 5 and 14. And because they only have 3 cats and the minimum is 5, it fails that rule, and therefore it cannot be our choice of answer. On sentence 3, there are 9 black cars in the park. This satisfies rule 1. It has 8 words, so it meets rule 2. There are no names in the sentence, so it passes rule 3. The sentence ends in a full stop as well, so that's also rule 4 done. And finally, as black ends with a K, it passes rule 5. So therefore, sentence 3 would be our winning answer. Well done on those. Well done on those. If you're in chat, we managed to get that correct. I know there was quite a mix of answers. So congratulations if you got that.
Oh, and I'm sure that everyone's appreciated you reading through the explanation there, because we did have so many different answers in the chat that I guess it required it. So it does feel a little bit now that we could do with relaxing our brain muscles a bit. So let's go on to the next section. When starting any new job, it is generally a pretty big deal, a big step in life. Some of our new colleagues at Lloyds Banking Group got together and recorded this film about why they love to work here at Lloyds. Let's take a look.
Love to work at LBG. So it was the feeling that I got when I was welcomed by my team.
Helping people in the most vulnerable of moments.
There's always like some activities going on, fun activities.
Honestly, I actually really can't appreciate everyone enough.
When I joined the group, the first day itself was very warm and welcoming.
And fun as well, a bit of fun too when you were doing the learning and stuff. And
everybody's welcoming, warm, you feel at home.
Satisfaction when you finish the call and somebody's like, thank you, you've helped so much, just makes your day a little bit better.
It's just been very enlightening to have a team that actually supports me and gets me going and ready for work. I've never really had that before.
As a bit of a nerd, the technology is really appealing.
The systems, they're easy to learn.
I really do love it here, and the people are great, everyone is great, coming to the office is great.
My training was genuinely fantastic.
It set you up for success.
You are free to express yourself.
There's a lot of stuff to do in Lloyds that are outside of work.
I found the opportunities available very exciting.
It was easier to do the training with people that you can kind of get on with and have a laugh with.
There is always something that I learn every single day I'm at work.
I felt included from the start. It was really professional, really efficient.
I really enjoy the emphasis placed on personal growth and development.
Every avenue is open, you know, it's very friendly, people are willing to talk and share what they do.
Wow, Phil, what a fantastic video. And speaking personally from someone who's on one of the apprenticeship schemes here at Lloyds, for me, it's the support you're giving once you start at Lloyds that really helps. So if you join us as an apprentice, you're paid for your study leave and you get a talent coach as well. There's lots of other colleagues as well that are constantly there to support you, which is fantastic. You'll never feel on your own, which I love about Lloyds. So we brought in some of our other apprentices on earlier. So now let's introduce two more of our apprentices onto you. Welcome to Careers Live, Sad and Alex.
Hi, thank you.
Hi there, Sad. And welcome, Alex, as well.
Hi.
So, Sad, let's start with you. When it comes to tech apprenticeships, my understanding is you've completed a level 7, which is equivalent to a master's. How did you find that?
Yeah, it was. It was really great opportunity for me to kind of put myself forward and learn new skills. As you know, as a software engineer, you need to be constantly updating your skill set. And me being with the bank for a fair few number of years, it was the right time for me to update my skill set. And when this opportunity came, I grabbed it with both hands, and boy, what an experience I had, learning new technology, meeting people not only from Lloyds but externally, and going back to uni was quite a challenge, but a successful one. I did that during COVID as well, so all in all, it was fantastic learning experience, which kind of paying dividends in my current role.
Yeah, I can imagine so, Sad. And then, you know, a lot of people look at level 7 and think that's a very high level of qualification, which it is. It's a master's level. What type of support did you get throughout
that? So support-wise, it was my line managers and the leadership team around me. You know, they were really great in terms of making sure that I have enough time away from work to complete, as you know, a very challenging course. The skill coaches, which you get assigned in where I did was in Manchester Met. They were a great bunch of people. They were always there to help. But the main thing was the culture around us, the learning culture, in the sense that every single apprentice was there to help each other out. And because we were a bit more of a mature student as well, and then we had a bit of a internal kind of, you know, competition going on, who will get the most marks in our assignments and everything else. So support-wise, you know, we couldn't ask for more from our organization. If you needed some time off, if you needed some learning days, everything was available. We just had to ask.
That's fantastic to hear, and I personally agree with that as well, Sad, that the support here at Lloyds is absolutely fantastic. We've talked about it briefly, but the technology roles are very varied across the organisation. It's not just one sort of sector or one type of role. So what is your role now, and you know, what have you done before? What's your journey here at Lloyds?
Yeah, I briefly mentioned that I joined the organisation around 15 years ago, joined as a programmer back in the day, but since then I've kind of worked my way through. Thankfully, and my passion is software engineering, so I've stuck with that throughout, you know, different iterations, and managed to deliver some fantastic value for our customers, our colleagues. So currently, I'm working in the colleague channels, and basically any colleague-facing and customer-facing application which I look after, and my role involves. Because of my time with the bank and what I've learned so far is more of a consultant stroke mentor, helping to bring the other people along the learning journey and get them where I am now. So this is where I am at this moment in time. I do get to code, not often as I used to be when I was young, but I do get my hands dirty every now and then with coding. I work with the solution architects with coming up with a new idea, coming up with a new solution. I act as a liaison between my stakeholders from my team as well as the external suppliers. So full on, but that's the role which I enjoy the most. And if you ask me personally, getting my hands dirty in coding is the fun part.
Definitely, it's definitely up to sort of what you enjoy. So how far into your career did you do an apprenticeship?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
How far into your career did you do an apprenticeship?
Yeah, it was 13 years into my career as a software engineer. This is where I felt the need to kind of press that restart button to go and learn everything which is out in the market, bring myself up to the same competitive skill set level, and make sure that we as an organization are ready to kind of embark on this fantastic journey of digitalization. So it was 13 odd years into my careers, and this is where I decided to kind of take the plunge and put myself through the paces of learning new things again. So yeah.
Wow. And that just shows that apprenticeships are really for everyone. You don't necessarily just join from school, you could become a colleague and then do an apprenticeship for it as well. So just one final question for you then, Sad. What kind of skills help you in your field?
Many, but I think the one which I would personally kind of say that the one of the main thing is for me is the hunger for learning more, being curious. I think that's another thing, is you want to know why this, why not in this particular way. You got to have in my job skill as as a programmer, you got to have logical thinking behind it, and the ability to kind of break down a massive piece of chunk of work wise into small logical chunks to deliver, and kind of just worry about one thing at a time, in terms of breaking it down, delivering one task at a time, and then picking up the next. Time management is another great asset to have in this. And yeah, being bold, be innovative, come up with an idea. There is no such thing as a bad idea. Come up with an idea, discuss it with your colleague, your stakeholders. And before you know it, it might be something which people really like it, and we will end up implementing it. So it's a really, really good, satisfactory feeling when something you come up with and you deliver it to the end user. So yeah, these are the things which, sorry, I said a lot, but I think that at a high level, these are the things I would say that they really help.
Well, fantastic. And everything you said there has been a very quality insight. So thank you. Thank you for that.
So I do have one question for you, Sad, before I move over to
go for it. Yeah.
So you said back in the day, and you're talking about programming. So just to satisfy my own curiosity, but maybe the chat as well.
Yeah.
What were some of the first programming languages that you studied that you were fluent in?
Yeah, I'm not going that far as an assembler or mainframe programming. So my first job at Lloyds was a C++ programmer. The nature of requirement I had in terms of my job was to be kind of doing something at a hardware integration layer. So it was C++. It's the first thing I did. I don't know whether people will remember a language called Visual Basic. So that was the next thing I did. Yeah, by far one of my favorite languages. And then I moved on to C# and then Java, all the modern technologies, but yeah, database as well. I love working with databases, SQL Server, Oracle, and the modern databases, Postgres, you name it. It is, yeah.
It's really good to hear about the different coding languages that you have come across, because I think it shows to people that to get ahead, you kind of do want to kind of see what's going on in different spaces, and the more that you're exposed to, the more
Yeah.
likely that you're going to be able to pivot and be flexible when it comes to whatever the future holds. So really great insight there, Sad. Now I want to bring in Alex. Sorry for the way, Alex. So you work in DevOps. What does that mean? And how do you describe what you do to your friends and family?
Yeah, it's a great question. So, yeah, I think in simple terms, I describe what I do as, I help engineering teams across the bank deliver the software that they have to our customers safely, reliably, and at pace. They're the three main things which we go after. So, I think DevOps is it's really a way of thinking about how we build and deliver software in the bank. And in my role specifically, one of the things that I'm tasked with on a day-to-day is really focusing on improving the experience for our engineering teams in the bank and providing them with the tools and techniques that they need to build things faster, really, and more efficiently. So yeah, I guess to go into a bit more detail there, one of the things that I'm looking at the moment, and one of the tools that I'm building is known as a continuous integration and deployment pipeline, a bit of jargon for you there. But what that means is that whenever engineering teams want to put the latest versions of their software in front of customers, the software will first have to go through this pipeline, and that will automatically detect any defects, any quality issues, or any security issues in their software, so that we can guarantee that the software and the end product that reaches our customer is of an acceptable standard. So yeah, that's just a quick example of one of the things I'm working on at the moment. That's proving a very, very challenging project, but I think equally, incredibly rewarding is when we get that over the line. It's something that will truly transform the bank. So yeah, it's very rewarding work.
I understood. So thanks for that. So I suppose for the people listening, they might be wondering, what you've just said sounds really technical. If I don't have the technical experience, or even like I don't have any opportunity to run along fields that you've just described, what can I do to expose myself to that kind of thing ahead of applying for roles?
Yeah, definitely. So there's a ton of resources online about DevOps. So Google, YouTube, a website called Stack Overflow, which has lots of engineering type of questions and answers platform. Yeah, and I think just give it a Google, and if you're really interested about it depends what your learning style is. If it's kind of quite visual, then definitely having a look around on Google and some of the training platforms, the engineering training platforms that are out there, of which there are absolutely huge amounts of them. Go and take a look on there. But yeah, if you're more of a book person, then equally there's a ton of books on DevOps as well. So yeah.
Excellent. So given that we know that we're going to be taking people from lots of different backgrounds, and Sad's already spoken about different things that he's been doing. We've got people who come onto the apprenticeship straight from school, and you've also got other people who do an awful lot of different things before they find themselves in a role that they're pretty comfortable with. We could almost say that careers are often squiggly. So what was your journey into what you do now? And was it
Yeah, I'd say myself, I've definitely had a bit of a squiggly career. So yeah, my journey into Lloyds started just over 8 years ago. I joined Lloyds on the level 3 IT apprenticeship scheme. So I also joined Lloyds straight from college after doing a level 2 course in digital media. So I've gone from doing digital media to IT, so something quite different. And then at the time, I was really keen on not going to university before I joined Lloyds. My learning style was doing things, very hands-on and learning about things in if I was learning about things in quite a theoretical way, you know, it didn't really suit me. So an apprenticeship and, you know, getting that hands-on experience was perfect for me. So during the level 3 apprenticeship, when I joined Lloyds, some of my responsibilities involved lots of like data analytical work. So I really wanted to kind of hone in and specialize on that a bit more. And then after completing the level 3 scheme, I then moved on to the level 4 scheme in data analytics. And then during the level 4 scheme, I found that I really enjoyed coding. And then after completing the level 4 scheme, I then moved on to the level 6 apprenticeship, the degree apprenticeship scheme in software engineering. So I've gone from doing a kind of digital media to kind of general IT stuff to more specializing in data analytics to now being in engineering. So, you know, I've kind of always been in the technology field, but the job roles that I've had and, you know, the teams that I've worked in have definitely been quite squiggly, which has really allowed me to gain lots of different experiences and, you know, find what really works best for me. And now that I'm in, you know, I've loved all of the roles that I've done, but now I'm in something that I really do enjoy and something that I'm really passionate about.
So maybe time for just 2 quick more questions. The first one, you've mentioned a few times about learning style, and you've spoken about how yourself, you are quite hands-on. I'm pretty sure that that's what we call a kinesthetic learner. Do you know anything about the other styles of learning and whether you think the programs that you've been on are supportive for all types?
Yeah, definitely. I would say that they're supportive of all types. I think I'll give you some quick examples. So, for example, the degree apprenticeship, which I just finished last year, a lot of the learning on that was very much a mix of kind of lectures, which I know suits a lot of people. But if lectures aren't your thing, then they also give you a lot of stuff to go away and have a look at in your own time. Whether that be, we've also got learning platforms at Lloyds. A learning platform called Pluralsight is one that we're using quite a lot, which also has a lot of content on it. So if there's anything that you're struggling with, if you like more hands-on or video based learning, then there's really a mix of everything out there in technology. So yeah, as well with the university stuff, there's always they give you quite a lot of recommended reading as well. So if books are your thing, then that's great. And then obviously they give you kind of hands-on lab work to be getting on with in your own time and in a classroom as well. So you've got people there to ask. So there's kind of a mix of on the degree apprenticeship, you know, there's a mix of lectures there, there's a mix of recommended reading, there's a mix of go home and do it yourself, and then there's a mix of lab work as well as online video platforms.
So it sounds like we've got an awful lot of different platforms and tools available to support different kinds of learning. And just following on from what I put in the chat, guys, if you don't know what your learning style is, go find out, because if you do get a handle on it, it can help you to fashion your future as well. Really thanks to Sad and Alex. Now back over to Robbie for the next stage.
Thank you, Phil, and once again, thank you very much, Alex and Sad. It's been great to hear, you know, how diverse your careers have been and all the different journeys you've had throughout, and how apprenticeships have supported you with that. Now, everyone, I want you to stay with us because we do have competition time in the form of Kahoot. I know this is a fan favourite, particularly one of my favourites as well. So, Phil, how do you feel about Kahoot?
Today is going to be my first time playing with it, so hopefully there are no gremlins to get in the way of having a great fun.
Hopefully not. So yeah, if you just want to scan the QR code on the screen, and that should take you to Kahoot. I know when I was back in school, Kahoot was definitely a favourite. It was one, you could say that was a learning style as well. So our tech team believe you know about more technology than you do. So let's prove them right. They have pulled together 10 questions about technology to see how much you know. Up on the screen, like I mentioned, is our QR code. So if you just want to scan that, you can join. There's also the pin there as well. You'll get points for not just getting the correct answer, but also getting there the fastest. So accuracy and knowledge is vital. Scan the QR code, and if I don't put in your full name, please just put initials. We'll give you a moment to get that done. Perfect, here we go. So which of the following are roles in IT? This will be an interesting question. So you've got software engineer, you've got risk manager, business manager, or all of the above. So you select which one you think is correct.
And remember, guys, that the quicker you answer the question, the more points you get. I think that's how it works, right, Robbie?
Yeah, it's quickness and correctness. So make sure you're taking both into account. So you see it was green. It's all of the above. All these are roles that are considered IT. So I wouldn't have guessed either, to be honest, Phil.
Right. Yeah. Well, now learning is number one. That is very interesting. I like to see it. I like to see it. So, question number 2: which of the following do you not need to work in IT? Coding skills, communication skills, willingness to learn, or problem solving? Which ones do you not need to work in IT? We're giving you all sorts of hints today as well, so this one should be easy.
Yeah, it should be easy based off our last interviews for apprentices.
And so most people are gone for coding skills. Good choice, sir. You don't need them. Why? Why don't you need them, Robbie?
Don't need them because on our apprenticeship program, we're going to teach you everything you need to do the job. So you'll have your education alongside your on-the-job training, which will make sure you're an expert by the end of your apprenticeship.
Exactly.
Perfect. Let's move on to the next question. Learning still number one, which is interesting. Learning should be the word of today. So what are the benefits of uploading something to the cloud storage? Does it allow you to access from anywhere? Does it require internet to get access? It's more secure than storing it on a drive, or it's easy to mitigate from one cloud storage provider to another. A lot of quick answers in there, Phil. People are on top of this. So majority of people went for red, which is a correct answer. You can access the cloud storage from anywhere, which is a huge benefit.
Is learning still going to be number one, though? Yes. So far, learning is still number one.
Well, up 5 places as well.
So now question 4. Which of the following are cloud providers? Miramax, Viking, Scuba, AWS, IBM, Google, Lidl, Aldi, Waitrose, or Kindle, Hotspot, Shout?
It's also a great question. Wow, quick.
I know. Fastest one so far. What is Miramax, Viking, Service, and Scuba? That's the question.
Yeah, I can't name that myself, to be honest. Wow. Learning's 4 in a row.
Well done, learning.
Question 5. What is the importance of security updates? Are they not important at all because you never update your security? Do they patch vulnerabilities and improve performance? Do they allow companies to see what's on your phone? Or does it allow people to work in cybersecurity? Once again, an interesting question here. Wow, once again, everyone's very quick and they've all picked the same question.
Excellent. Great to see everyone already knowing the answers to our questions.
Very knowledgeable.
So, 6. How do we use biometrics in day-to-day life? Face recognition or fingerprint logons on your phone, writing a check to pay something, chip and pin on bank cards, or verbally giving a password to gain access to information. So the key in this question is biometrics. What are biometrics and how do we use them? Let's see what we've got for this one then. Yeah, we have most people going for the correct answer, which is face recognition or fingerprint logons.
Looks like people here are very knowledgeable. Our tech team must be right in saying that these people know more than they think they do.
But they will fit in just well here. And learning is still ahead.
So question 7. Which of the following are coding languages? Is it TetraScript, Anaconda, or Leaf? Is it JavaScript, Python, and Go? Is it PGScript, Cobra, and Stay? Or is it HyperScript, Boa, and Halt?
That was quick. Wow.
Wow. Yeah, everybody knows it. We've got experts on the call.
Oh, well done, guys. Did not expect so many correct answers out of this. So we're into 8 now? Yes. Which code is often used for building web pages? PTO and IRL, GUI, and dot, HTML and CS6, or FHM and NTO?
Do you know the answer to this one, Phil?
I do. And I've got to say that we all do love an acronym at Lloyds, don't we?
Of course.
Yep, and we've got most people going for the correct answer here as well. Well done, guys. You definitely know your stuff. It really doesn't seem like anyone's going to catch up with learning either.
I don't think so. Well done, everyone, though. And so next question is, why is it important for financial institutions, that is banks and building societies, to invest in technology? So to help combat security threats, to help keep up to date with their competitors, to improve customer experience, or is it all of the above? I know it's something at Lloyds, we are constantly focused on improving our technology. It looks like we do have a mix.
Why do we do that, though?
Well, it looks like to do everything on the Kahoot to help all these answers. So if that is correct, it's all of the above.
Indeed. Is there one more question? One more for the leaderboards to move around. Why is it important to have a diverse range of people working in technology?
It's a good question.
It enhances a company reputation, just the right thing to do, to allow for a variety of insight and perspective, or so they don't look discriminatory.
I know that's something that's very important for us here at Lloyds as well, not just alongside technology, but also diversity and equality and inclusion as well.
Fantastic. Yeah, it is B, to allow for a variety of insight and perspective. Just think about it. We take people who don't have an experience, don't have a coding experience, and then we give them the tools to learn how to do it. Their experiences that they bring into the role are completely different from people who have gone a traditional pathway, and that's what we're after. Different views. So, well done, guys. And who won? Well, Sarah, you're third. Well done. Leo, you're second. And first place.
The learning. Congratulations, and well done, everyone, for that. Very good point in chat. Kahoot is a fan favorite. I love a Kahoot.
So well done, everyone. Just as we said before, clearly you all know more about technology engineering than you let on. So let us tell you a bit about how technology engineering looks at Lloyds Banking Group. Most of our technology apprenticeships are grouped under 3 main headings. Here's a slide to make things easier to understand. This is a fast-moving area. And to try and make things more simple, we put apprenticeships into data, cyber, and technology engineering. Within technology engineering, there are 3 main role types. As we already spoke to Alex, we know about DevOps engineers. These people oversee the whole production of technology through to releasing things into the world. We have a software engineer. These people write the code, for example, for functions in our mobile apps. And we have quality engineers. These people ensure that all the bugs and defects are stripped out in production so that when the code is used by customers, it works perfectly. You can apply for any of these apprenticeships. And if we meet you and we feel that you're actually better suited for a different apprenticeship to the one you applied for, we'll let you know. And don't forget, we don't expect our apprentices to arrive on day one already knowing everything. We hire on the basis of strengths and potential. Remember, it's not all the knowledge you have, but your ability and willingness to learn and to pick up new things. That's not just for technology apprenticeships, but for all apprenticeships at Lloyds Banking Group. Now, finding an apprenticeship is quite different to applying to university, and we're often asked, where are the best places to go look for support? So here's our colleague Ian to tell you about his favourite sites.
Hi everybody, it's Ian here from the Lloyds Early Careers team, and they've given me 2 minutes to talk to you about my favourite websites for discovering what's next on your journey. So here we go, no time to waste. Coming in at number 5 is some useful resources here from the Association of Apprentices and Amazing Apprentices. There are some great resources in here. The Association of Apprentices in particular, a great way to meet other apprentices and find out what that journey is like compared to university. And at number 4, of course, Amazing Apprenticeships, which just has so much information, including just ways in which you can find out what apprenticeship might suit you by just looking at subjects that you like. And there's some great resources for parents in there as well. Now, at number 3, we have the government's resources. This is the government's Find an Apprenticeship service, where you can look for live vacancies. It's a really good idea in there. And if you're not sure whether that pay is going to be competitive, the National Careers Service, you can find out all sorts of things about what you'll be paid in training and what you should be expecting after training as well, so you can command your place in the marketplace. Now, coming in at number 2, our friends at UCAS, a whole range of resources here, from finding your next job, information about how to construct a CV, pass an assessment centre, and all kinds of different things. And if you don't know what you want to do at all, there's even a cool career quiz as well to help you. And of course, coming in at number 1, Lloyds Banking Group's resources, the Lloyds Bank Academy, and alongside that, our work experience information and the one QR that you need, which is for our Imagine What's Next platform. Signing up here on that QR code will get you front of line access to all of our skills training, all of the learning we offer, all of the experiences we can do, access to our work experience and early notification of vacancies as well. What's not to like? That's all you need to do on your journey as you imagine what's next.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Ian, for that video. As always, time is running away from us, but do be sure to sign up for the Imagine What's Next platform, as Ian mentioned on that video, so we can stay connected after tonight's live stream. It's a place where we advertise all our vacancies, but also how you can secure work experience and advertise, our work experience, like mentioned, to also access our fantastic mentors and all their knowledge and experience. I am personally on the platform mentoring and happy to support where possible. We want you to be successful, and Imagine What's Next has been created to help you on your journey. Now, at the start of tonight's live stream, we asked you 2 questions, and let's run back those polls again to see whether or not you're a little bit more convinced of pursuing a career in technology engineering. Based on that Kahoot quiz, Phil, I think everyone here has definitely learned a fair amount from this stream.
Yeah, it would seem like it. Yeah, confidence is a lot higher now.
A lot higher. I think at the start we only had 1 or 2 and 5, and now we have quite a few majority, so it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's looking like, I'm pretty sure that we were around 2 before, so great to see that people actually picked up something in the session today.
Yeah, it looks like the answers have changed a lot from being near the bottom to being from the middle to the top range, which is fantastic to see. Perfect. So that was one of the polls that we asked at the start. And then we also asked whether or not you could see yourself working at Lloyds Banking Group. So let's run that back again as well, and let's see how people feel. If you feel it's extremely unlikely after listening to this, which I hope it's not, then give it a 1. If you feel it's likely, then give it a 5. And if you're somewhere in the middle, then give it a 3.
Well, the thing is, if you are a 1 after the session that we've gone through, you've got a great opportunity to find out a bit more about Lloyds and use our connector platform to reach out to mentors and get your mind changed, because you should be wanting to work at Lloyds. It is a great place. Is it not, Robbie?
I can personally vouch for that as Phil. And our Imagine What's Next platform is a great way to ask questions to current apprentices as well.
Absolutely, it is. Yep, so we got 95% on 5. Perfect. We're all looking forward to seeing you all soon then. Maybe, in fact, we'll see some of you presenting Lloyd's Career Live in 2025 or beyond. We have absolutely loved having your company this evening, and a massive thanks to our friends at Capfinity, the technology engineering teams, and our fantastic apprentices for sharing their experiences with us this evening. Also got to say thanks to Robbie and the Catherine and Ian, who've been monitoring the chat for us as well, and the technology guys in the background. So we do want to stay connected, and as we keep pointing out, do make sure that you join us on Imagine What's Next. You'll be able to meet fantastic mentors like Robbie or myself standing by to help. You can replay any part of this live stream by going to the YouTube channel. And please do keep your eyes peeled for tech vacancies. They should be coming by the end of March. And What do you want to do if you want to hear about those as soon as they pop up? Oh, well, sign up to Imagine What's Next, of course. We'll be back once again on the first Tuesday of April. That's April the 2nd at 5 p.m. for our next Lloyds Careers Live. From Robbie and myself, we wish you every success wherever your career path takes you.
Thank you, everyone.
What does success mean to us?
Success is making a difference.
For our customers and our communities.
Success is empowering people from the start.
Building their confidence.
Giving them tools to start their careers.
Success is putting our people first.
It's knowing when to listen.
And making the time to talk.
Success is supporting causes we care about.
It's getting involved.
All hands on deck.
Success is making banking better.
It's engineering a fairer future.
Making progress and leaving no one behind.
Whatever shape it takes.
Success starts with us.